Ei, 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 ei. Alô, alô, falando para teste. Alô, caminhão. Falando para teste som. Estamos aqui na Pres 2. Falando para teste som. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alô, alô, caminhão, como está chegando para vocês? Falando para teste som. 1, 2, 1, 2. Falando para teste na Pres 2. Falando para teste som. 1, 2, 3. Alô, alô, falando para teste som. COP30 Brasil, Amazônia, Belém 2025, falando para teste, ei, 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 falando para teste, som, 1, 2, 3. Como está chegando para vocês? Pres 2. Falando para teste, som, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, alô, alô. Falando para teste, som, 1, 2. Testando o microfone na Pres 2, falando para teste, som, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, falando para teste. Alô, alô, falando para teste som, ei, ei, ei. Como está chegando aí? Chegou para vocês? Mic na Pres 2? Maravilha, vou testar o próximo. Ei, falando para teste som, testando o primeiro mic da bancada, falando para teste. 1, 2, 1, 2, falando para teste som. Alô, 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 alô. Pres 2 falando para teste. 1, 2, 3. Alô, teste som. 1, 2, 1, 2. E esse mic, como que tá aí para vocês? Falando para teste. 1, 2, 1, 2. Teste som. Ei. Maravilha. Falando para teste som, segundo microfone da bancada, falando para teste, maravilha. Falando para teste som, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, falando para teste som, maravilha. Ei, falando para teste, 1, 2, 1, 2, testando, maravilha. Alô, alô, falando para teste som, 1, 2, 3. Você falou que o Braulio está chamando? Oi, coordenação, chamou o Pres 2? Alô, alô, falando para teste som, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Podemos iniciar aqui as sessões da Pres 2?
Bro, my birthday, yes. I don't want from back. May go through. Yes.
Hello. Mike, you can start. Good morning, distinguished members of the press, delegates, colleagues, and partners. On behalf of the Republic of Ghana, I welcome you to this press conference at COP30, Belem. Let me indicate that this press conference is being recorded live on the UNFCCC website, and so people can join us virtually. We are here today to present one of our country's most significant steps in strengthening our climate diplomacy, the National Roster of Experts on Climate Negotiations. This initiative, launched in Ghana before this COP, represents a new era in Ghana's engagement with the UNFCCC process. For years, our country has contributed actively to global climate negotiations, but the increasing complexity of negotiation themes has required a more coordinated, technical, and inclusive approach. The National Roster of Experts responds directly to that need. It is a structured national mechanism that brings together qualified negotiators, researchers, youth, civil society actors, and sectoral specialists to support Ghana's position across the various tracks. This roster ensures continuity across negotiation cycles, institutional memory that is not lost, high-level technical expertise, CSO's gender and youth inclusivity, and then alignment with our national climate priorities and NDCs. At this point, I would like to invite our speakers who will provide deeper insight into the National Roster of Experts and Ghana's broader climate negotiation efforts. We are pleased to have with us a distinguished panel representing government and civil society organizations. So we'll start with a self-introduction. This press conference is going to be 30 minutes, and so the introduction should be very brief, 2 minutes each, and then we'll come to the first round of questions, which is also going to be 2 minutes each, and then finally we'll do another second round, and then we'll give the audience some few minutes to ask questions if they have. So I'll pass over the mic to Prof to introduce herself. Prof, over to you.
I'm Professor Nanama Brown Kluche, the Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Authority.
Give us a little background. Thank you.
So I also represent the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. I am the Vice Chair for Working Group 1. I'm a climate scientist, and I do a lot of work on climate change and environment as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. So over to you, Doc.
So thank you so much, Hussein. My name is Nana Mchiboesiaku Amwa. I am the Acting Director in charge of Climate Vulnerabilities and Adaptation for Environmental Protection Authority, Ghana. And here at the COP, I lead the negotiations. I coordinate the technical discussions within the rooms and then provide feedback to policymakers and other stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Doche, please, over to you.
Thank you very much, moderator. My name is Dr. Samuel Doche, CEO of Hato Foundation, and also a member of the Ghana delegation here in COP30. I serve as a board member of the Stakeholder Advisory Network on Climate Finance, headquarters in Washington, D.C., and also 2025 Climate Laureate by the Millennium Excellence Foundation, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Doche, for such a brief introduction. Okay, so I'll start with Prof. Prof, can you kindly tell us what motivated Ghana to establish the National Roster of Experts on Climate Negotiations, and what national gaps does it seek to address?
Thank you very much. So Ghana launched its National Roster of Experts for Climate Negotiations. Thus, we believe will put Ghana more prepared and increase the presence of the country and the effectiveness in international climate diplomacy. We also needed to be more coordinated at our negotiations as a country. So the motivation stems from the fact that we know where the conversation of climate change is going. We have challenges in Ghana, and we see also opportunities that we can put, when we put ourselves together, we can tap into at COP. So that is why we launched the roster for experts for climate change negotiations. We see the benefits we will get or tap from this roster because, as I said earlier on, this gives us a more coordination at our meetings and our negotiations during the COP, especially starting with COP30, where we are moving from planning to action. We want the actions also to be in Ghana as well. So we want to tap into opportunities that we can have from COP.
Oh, great, thank you. Yes, so definitely want to tap into the opportunities. I'll zoom into Dr. Entry. From a negotiation standpoint, how does the roster enhance Ghana's ability to contribute to complex thematic areas at COPs? Definitely, we know.
Thank you so much again, Hussein. So let me continue from where Prof ended. So there is a motivation to do that. And in the rooms, what is the relevance? I think if you want to pick this issue, you have to understand it from the standpoint of the relevance of the negotiation itself. It is not just a mere exercise. It is a serious business, and it's always done from a bottom-up approach. What I mean by bottom-up approach is from country to smaller groups to bigger groups, and then to the UNFCCC in general. So Ghana, Africa, G77, and then the world. Whatever the interest of the country, in this case Ghana is, cannot be articulated by any other country than Ghanaians. And these issues are very important because the thematic areas sometimes are very complicated because the normal workshop meetings are different from negotiation language. And so, one, you need consistency. So people have to be in the room continuously to be able to understand. Secondly, there's supposed to be deliberate effort to lift their conversation in the room so that they can present the national positions very well. I'll give you one quick example that is happening at this COP. I've had people who are asking me that, why is it that AGN is blocking the indicators that have been developed by which was spearheaded by the AGN itself, but why is it that at this COP they don't want to adopt it? So if you're a layman in the room, you might think that, oh, they are just dragging their feet and not wanting to make progress. But from a negotiation point of view, for the UNFCCC process, it's technical and political. The indicators were developed by experts, and politicians or countries have not had the opportunity to look at how feasible these can be in terms of applying them, because they were just published, and then we are here at COP. At what time will the countries have the opportunity to be able to actually present their views on this? This is very important, because certain things might be technically feasible, but maybe politically not acceptable. And you need to be able to understand the dynamics in this case. You need to be able to be in the room to be able to understand. So the roster that EPA or Ghana has launched actually aims to continuously build people's capacity so that they will understand the technical complexities in the room and then articulate Ghana's special circumstances in these negotiations. I think that is the rationale.
All right, thank you so much, Doc. Dr. Doche, I know you've been following negotiations for a while as somebody from the civil society. What value do you think civil society bring to Ghana's climate negotiation efforts through the roster?
Thank you very much. I will look at my contribution on 4 pillars. The first one looks at technical expertise, and evidence-based inputs. That when we talk about civil society, it's not only NGOs. We are looking at think tanks, we are looking at academia, we are also looking at professional bodies or institutions whose knowledge in adaptation, finance, biodiversity loss, and the rest, and the work that they do at the community level provides a better understanding of how this constituency can influence or can contribute to the negotiation process. Another thing that they also do is research and data collection. So, just as my earlier speakers said, especially referring to what Dr. Entry said, you need evidence, solid scientific data in order for you to make your case very compelling at this level. So this group of people, based on the work that they do, have this expertise and evidence to support the negotiation process. Secondly, when it comes to transparency and accountability, the CSO's presence at the COP ensures that negotiation parties who want to veer off-road are brought back to what the issues are on the table. Civil society also act as watchdogs, reinforcing accountability and tracking pledges. I mean, from 1992, if it has not been the role of civil society, most of the obligations for our colleagues from the global north will have been thrown under the carpet. So we put pressure on them, guide them, and let them understand that this is what we've all agreed to do. Civil society also brings bottom-up approach perspectives to the discussion within the process. Here we deal with local communities, their vulnerability, and all the things that comes with the impact of climate change. The other one, which is very critical, is bridging national and community realities. Like I indicated, we have established some level of legitimacy at the grassroots level. So communities are willing to tell us their issues better than any other group of people. Finally, fourth, not the least, is about advocacy and coalition building. Civil society organizations help build alliances with other civil society groups from the continent and outside the continent, including those who are from least developed countries and countries with their economies in transition. What is the value of our advocacy? Our advocacy helps push ambitious positions within the COP, and for Ghana, it would support, or our work will support Ghana to have a strong voice in pushing for our national interests. We also support the government of Ghana by providing some level of training, analytical briefs, the rapid assessments which happen before, during, and after COP. So basically, that is the value which civil society brings on board when we work in partnership with government. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I mean, you've talked about transparency, inclusivity, and that's one of the key roles that civil societies play. So I'll go to our last speaker, Desmond. Desmond, you want to introduce yourself, and then also I'll tie that to your question. What role do you think the roster plays in opening opportunities for young people aspiring to be climate negotiators? I know you already ran a program like that, so over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Desmond Aluna, co-founder for Green Africa Youth Organization. Yes, we do have a youth negotiator program that we've been training young people with the support of our experts here for the past 4 years now. I think that this national roster came at the right time because a lot of young people through this engagement have always asked, where is the entry point? How do I access that entry point? And most of the time, these are events and activities happening in isolation, so it becomes really difficult to put things together. So having this national roster gives access to information, it gives guidance as to who is already involved in the process and whom you can contact and how you can get involved as well. I think it also presents young people a very unique opportunity for consistency in career growth and contribution to their national development. Because, like I said, we've brought young people to different COPs who follow negotiations, and maybe the next 2 COPs, that is the end. They are not able to continue because all these isolated activities do not allow them to stay consistent in where they have chosen to build their career on. And so therefore, the contribution to national development is also cut short wherever they stop. But now having this national roster of climate negotiator experts, it helps these people to, in every COP, understand how to participate, how to report back, who to seek guidance to understand the language of the UN, and also how to follow the processes between the COPs. And then I think the other thing, which is really opportunity for capacity building, because most of us young people who have the passion and the determination to build careers and to also learn more around climate negotiation, sometimes do not have access to the mentors and the experts that can give us the guidance. And sometimes, too, the next person you know is involved in this process, but you don't know because you don't have that information. So now having the roster helps to really know who is leading what topic and then whom you can seek that mentorship from. So this is a very good opportunity for young people in general.
Thank you so much, Desmond. Yes, mentorship is very key, and I think that's one of the key challenges when it comes to following these tracks when it comes to climate negotiations, because you need to get somebody to guide you. So the roster will serve that purpose. So I'll come back to you, Prof. As the CEO of the EPA, and you house this, how would this roster strengthen Ghana's negotiation capacity and also influence under the UNFCCC process?
Obviously, from the first set of responses, we can see that once we put ourselves together in a more coordinated way and also build the capacity, as Dr. Nchi said, we put ourselves in readiness to follow the conversations and the negotiations. We understand the dynamics and we are able to contribute properly. It's one thing being present and another thing contributing meaningfully to the process. So with this, we are able to contribute better to the UNFCCC processes. We are able to also tap into the opportunities, as I said earlier on. Parties who want to have or see seriousness in other parties when they are doing negotiations. So once we have our climate experts equipped with information, equipped with data, and equipped to also understand the challenges that we have in Ghana and communicate Ghana's issue appropriately on the table, we believe is a starting point to bring home the opportunities that we seek to bring home. So with this, as we said earlier on, we now will be able to contribute meaningfully to the UNFCCC processes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Doc, can you please highlight how coordinated national positions influence negotiation outcomes within the UNFCCC framework?
Thank you once again. I think I touched on that a little bit in my first presentation. So in the actual negotiation process, you need to understand that climate change is a cross-sectoral issue. So there are gender-related issues, there are Greek-related issues, energy-related issues, transport, and many more. And at the national level, we have sectors that work in these domains. It's important to be able to present these perspectives in a more coherent manner. And how is this done? Submissions. Because the UNFCCC has a process where if there is a burning issue to get more information, they launch call for submission. And this offers the countries the opportunity, based on their national circumstances, bring up issues, how they want things to be handled at the UNFCCC level. So that is the first point. The other issue has to do with, even within the negotiation itself, a lot has been said by the panelists. Sometimes somebody comes, even where to find the agenda to follow is even problematic, because it's not like walking into any other workshop, as I said earlier on. These are taught step by step at the national level. As we speak, Desmond was talking about 4-year experience of youth negotiators in Ghana. As you are speaking now, we have over 30 or 40 young people who are not in the room here following the negotiations. They've been trained, they've been guided where to find which information and what to understand at what time. And this, you need coordinated effort at the national level. So I think this, for me, is a novelty within the African region. And Ghana must be able to sustain this and then share lessons that come out of this with other African countries.
Thank you so much. Dr. Doche, in brief, because we have some few minutes left, how can a country ensure that non-state actors are meaningfully engaged within the negotiation process? Please, in 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think there should be clear governance arrangements as to how non-state actors should be brought on board. For example, the EPA should, as a matter of urgency, create a portal for which non-state actors will be invited to submit applications or what have you, interests, so that this committee is set up to evaluate this application, just as we do, or they have been doing for the non-state actors, even in admitting us into this particular process. So once that is done and the selection is completed, then, of course, the lead negotiators then are called upon to then become mentors for these young ones who are brought on board. That is one of the key things that I think, when it is done, continuous training for the people who are brought on board, even those who are already in the process. It is a very complex process. So that cohesion, that collaboration, that training program that is organized not only when we are coming to COP, but as a continuous process will be very useful, and giving Ghana an opportunity to develop national positions across board. Because civil society, academia, professional bodies, think tanks, government, all of them putting ourselves together, then we can be sure that we are on the road to success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Desmond, why do you think youth participation, I know you've said a lot already, is essential for sustaining Ghana's long-term climate diplomacy?
Yeah, I believe we need continuation, and more importantly, we need to do this strategically. So involving young people at this stage gives them ample time for seamless transitioning of knowledge from the senior aspects, so that in the near future, we will have even more broader number of experts following different topics.
Awesome, thank you. We can't do this without giving the audience the opportunity to ask questions. So the audience, you have 1 minute each. If you have a question, please proceed. Yes, please introduce yourself briefly and you please be very brief. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Francois Saki. I work with a civil society organization called CASA Initiative Ghana. So I have a two-part question. One question is just brief. One question is, how resilient is this roster to change of government, since we know how our country, like the change of government happens? The next question is, what's the criteria for a young person to apply to be part of this roster? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hello,
So
my name is.
let's respond to the questions first, and then.
Okay,
So,
so
Prof, I think
quickly,
Prof will
no.
take the first question, and the Dr. Enchi, please take
Okay.
the second question.
So I want to take the two quickly.
Okay.
So for the first one, how resilient to political change? I think this has been here spearheaded by EPA, but not by a political party. So that's the starting point. And it's anchored in the Central Technical Administration of the Environmental Protection Authority. And so it is not a political machine, it is a technical arm. Secondly, when it comes to how can young people apply, we have lead negotiators. In fact, when we launched it, Prof took time to explain the processes. We have core leads, and then any other member who wants to be within a particular thematic area. When we go back, we'll actually open the floor for our people to express their interest, and then we'll guide them how to be on board.
Prof, you want to add?
I think Dr. Entry has explained it all. So it's institutionalized, so we don't expect change of government to cause any disruption or any change in it. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time to continue. Thank you, our distinguished speakers, for honoring the invitation. Thank you, the audience. The press conference is over. Bye-bye.